Hi again everyone, Kate Selway here from Macquarie EPS. This time talking to you about the things you're going to need to take to the 307 field trip to Weekaroo for actually doing the mapping. I guess maybe first a bit of a description of how our days are going to run. We'll leave the camp in the morning in our mapping groups. You'll generally often have a demonstrator with you, but not every day. We'll be out in the field mapping for most of the day, so sort of maybe 8 or 9 hours each day we'll be actually out mapping. Then return to the camp in the evening before sunset, have some dinner, and then continue to work on our maps at night. One of the most important things you can bring with you for getting the mapping done is some fitness. As I say, we're going to be on our feet sort of all day, every day. We won't be walking huge different distances. Like, it's not like you're going to need to be able to run a marathon, but we could be walking 10 or 15 Ks some days, and climbing up some pretty steep hills. So if you feel like that's something that you couldn't do, you've got certainly enough time to build up some fitness before you get there. And if you do that, you're going to get a lot more out of the camp, and you're going to be able to contribute a lot more to your mapping group as well. So it's really easy to do. Just spend some time walking, get off the train a couple of stations earlier as you're going home, walk a few Ks each day, and you'll be amazed at how quickly your fitness builds up, and as I say, you'll really be able to get a lot more out of the camp. So when we get there, we're going to be doing this mapping. So we'll give you an aerial photo like this. It's an aerial photo of the region, and we'll give you a piece of tracing paper that goes over the top that you'll actually do the mapping on. So you're going to need to bring a clipboard, an A4 clipboard that this will be able to go onto, that you can lean on, and also some clips, some like butterfly bulldog clips that will hold it all down and stop it blowing away in the wind is really useful too. You'll map directly onto this tracing paper whilst you're out in the field. You'll need a few things. You'll need a sharp pencil, so like a mechanical pencil like this that you can keep sharp is really ideal, so you can draw directly on your map. When we're out mapping, we'll be looking at, we'll figure out where we are on the map. We'll look at what the lithologies are beneath our feet, and we'll be measuring any structures that are out there. So you want to bring some coloured pencils as well. So you might give each lithology a different colour, so when you're actually mapping out in the field, you can colour those in directly on your map. We'll supply you with compasses, and you'll use these to orient yourself on the map, and also to take measurements, dips and strikes, and measurements of structures in the field. Really important that you bring a hand lens. It's impossible to do the work without a hand lens. It's impossible to figure out what's actually in the rocks that you're looking at without one. So really, really important that you bring a hand lens. I was amazed last year that a lot of people didn't have hand lenses, and it ends up being quite a burden on the other people in your mapping team, because they're having to lend you theirs all of the time, and it just holds everybody back a little bit. Also bring a notebook for any sketches or any more information than what you can put on your map in the field, to write down whilst you're out there. And it's really handy if that notebook has a hard cover, so that if you're taking a dip and strike, you can actually put it on the rock and use it as a surface to take that dip and strike from. Also bring a magnet. You can see it's magnetising everything in my pencil case. A magnet to be able to tell if the rocks are magnetic or not. Yeah, so I think those are the things you'll really need for actually when you're out in the field. And then, as I say, we'll get back to camp in the evening, and then you'll continue to work on your maps. You'll do some stereo nets and things to better understand the structures that are out there. And you'll also, I guess, fill in your maps and make them look a bit prettier as well. So you'll need your coloured pencils again for that. You also want to bring some fine permanent markers, so that you would draw over the pencil that you've drawn on in the field in permanent marker onto your map. Also bring a protractor so that you can measure those angles that you've been measuring in the field. think that's all the things you're going to need for your mapping. So remember, if you're worried about how your fitness is going to be, you've got more than enough time to build up enough fitness that you're going to need in the field. Bring your clipboard, bulldog clips, your pencils, your hand lens, and your permanent marker for marking things back on your map in the evenings.